Okay guys, I've yet to mention this on my channel, but I will be attending with my brother the Mr. Olympia Expo. Woo! And we're gonna be meeting all the YouTubers, everybody. It's gonna be a great opportunity for him and I. I'm basically gonna play the man of cameraman the entire time. I might vlog a little bit for you guys, get some footage of the actual expo. It's probably gonna be more like B-rolly like I always do and kind of make it more artistic. But anyhow, the reason I'm recording this vlog is because I'm getting my brother's car ready for the actual drive to Vegas, and I thought it'd be kind of fun for you guys to come along because most people just fly to Vegas, but we're actually gonna drive there. And because I'm a mechanic and my dad is a mechanic, we're gonna prep his car for the trip. Okay, peace out, bye. All right, I can't be driving old Hondas like this. I haven't driven a lowered Honda like this in years. It just tempts me to get another Honda. In case you guys didn't know, I used to have a hatchback that was lowered, had all sorts of fun stuff done to it, but to be honest, it's nothing but trouble to have me in a car like that. So we're at the shop now. Now we're gonna start working on this thing. I think we have to do like axles, we have to do all sorts of stuff to this thing, but I will bring you guys along for the ride the entire way. All right guys, we got the car racked, as you can see. Now we're gonna put it up in the air. We're gonna start yanking parts off this thing. Here we go. So we're getting new tires put on down there for the front of this car. I will go pick those up later. All right, so first thing we're doing is we're removing the axles from this car. And in case you guys don't understand that concept, these are your lug nuts. 4 lug nuts, this is a Honda Civic. So this is where your wheel goes. This is your disc brake right here. Now the thing that actually drives this is the actual axle. See the axle right there? Now on this side over here, my dad's already got this one out. And we've already put the new one in. Now if you want to see what these look like, this is an axle right here. Boom, look at that. And then these are the actual little tiny itty bitty little baby teeth that drive your wheels. Look at these tiny little teeth. Itty bitty, tiny. All right, so there it is, boys and girls. There's the new axle in. There's the brand new axle right there. Goes all the way up into the little transmission. Right there. Civics have adorable little baby tiny transmissions that are extremely cute compared to like something like a truck or something like that. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the other side. I'm gonna remove the old axle on the other side, put in the new axle on the other side. All right guys, my camera is getting filthy as I'm keeping you updated, but I wanted to show you. So this is the old axle. This is the new axle that we're putting in on the other side, and you can see the differences. This is old and worn. One of these boots is actually split, and you can actually see inside the axle. You can see all that terribleness. This is gonna get all messed up over time. This one has beautiful new seals. Look at that. We're done putting in that new axle. Here is the new axle. You can see it's got a new seal, new beautiful seal. The old one right here, it had a broken seal, and it was letting in all sorts of dirt and all sorts of terrible corruption from the road, government corruption, corporate corruption. Anyhow, what I wanted to show you guys is this is one of the main pivots of this actual, so this is the axle up here, and then this is where the wheel goes. So this is actually going to pivot like this when you steer. Now, the way it pivots is this bolt right here. This is part of your suspension that's extremely important. This is actually what holds the what I would call this is a spindle, I guess you could say, and that's what actually holds in all of this, and it actually keeps it in sync so that you can go down the road and everything stays organized. Now, there's one bolt that actually holds this together and actually holds it in place. Now, the reason that this bolt has an actual metal pin that goes through it is because it's so important. Now, if you lose this bolt, this is considered a Jesus bolt, if you will, in the industry. Now, Jesus bolts are called that because if you lose this bolt while you're on the road, well, my friend, you better know Jesus. All right, guys, done with the axles. The axles are in. Got brand new axles, so we're nice and safe on our trip to Vegas. I think we're about halfway done. The axles are probably gonna be the crappiest thing to do, to be completely honest. Now I'm heading back down to Street Trends to pick up the tires that they just mounted on those wheels that I brought down here. All right, heading back to the shop. Gonna mount these wheels and tires, and we'll see what comes next, baby girl. All right, at first I will be honest with you guys. I thought vlogging this would be kind of dumb, kind of boring, but it's actually pretty interesting. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. All right, now we're removing the radiator. My dad's about to yank the hose. So the reason we're removing the radiator is that apparently there's a little bit of a hit right here. Got a little bit of dent, a little kind of like an indentation on the radiator, and we don't want that to be a weak point when we're in Vegas in the desert. Like, this could be running super hot. There could be a lot of pressures accumulated. So if there is a weak point in the radiator, it's gonna blow. And if it was gonna blow, it'd probably happen in the hot desert. There she blows. This is the old radiator right here. Now, I don't know if you can see how tiny this thing is. This is the size of my hand. Look at how adorable this thing is. It's absolutely tiny. This is the fan shroud with the electric fan. We're gonna remove that, put that onto the new radiator.
That little chafe mark right there.
And this right here, I don't know if you can even see this. This right here, you can see it. It's an indentation from some kind of bump that the car took. And that's the whole reason that we're replacing the radiator. Because when this radiator accumulates a ton of pressure when we're in the desert, and that little tiny mark is there, it could create like a tiny little weak point and just blow up all of our coolants all over the road. And then we're sitting there and we won't get to see any of you guys at the Olympia, so that's no good. Okay, so these are the actual little mounts that the radiator basically mounts onto. And what happened was this one right here, and I believe this one as well, they both got bent up slightly. So now what we have to do is we have to bend them back. And it's not exactly the most like precious process in the world. It's a very gentle. So now as soon as we get these brackets bent back to where they were, we'll put the new radiator in, we'll put the new radiator in, and we won't have to worry about the new radiator getting all like marred and marked up like the old one was from those mounts. We won't end up in the desert sitting there twiddling our thumbs in the middle of the road. All right, so up next, we got out the old spark plugs, and then we put in new ones. Pops is putting in the spark plugs right now. They're already in. I didn't really get to film that process. Don't hate me.
Out with the old, in the new.
All right, so we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna check all the fluids. I think we're doing something else. Not sure what else we're gonna do on this thing. But after this, we're replacing what? Next we're replacing fuel filter. And then onward from there. This right here is your fuel filter. So this is the new fuel filter. You can see the difference between this and the old one. There's quite a bit of a difference. So the new fuel filter is in. And there's a bolt that actually holds a hose to this fuel filter, but I wanted to show you guys this bolt real quick. These are the kind of things that entertain me in life. This bolt is pretty cool because look, it actually has a hole that goes through it. And then also down it, if I turn it this way, you can see the light going into it from outside. So what that does is it allows fuel to move actually through this bolt while it's bolted to your fuel filter. These are the kind of things that just really entertain me while I work on cars.
High performance air cleaners. This is one of them. This one here, you gotta cut the zip tie to get the air filter out.
So quite obviously we're putting in a new air filter. After this, we're gonna get that new radiator in because we're still waiting for the parts guy to bring it. And we're nearing completion here. We're getting really close to done. We got a few more things to do though. Alright, so now what we're doing is we are recharging the AC. It's coming fresh out the box. Brand new radiator, comes with little caps and everything for the tranny lines. Ooh, this one came with a new radiator cap too. It's
very important to take these plugs off.
Yeah. So I think we are like an hour? I think we're like an hour out from this. And then we're like an hour out from being done. After this, I'm probably gonna go home and edit this video. And then I think I'm gonna continue making this video, and I'm gonna take you guys on my squat day I'm already doing some manly stuff here. There's an amazing squat rack at the new gym that we're at, so I'm gonna do some manly, big, heavy squats. I'm fresh on a bulk. See if we can get 225. So you guys have seen Franny before. And
it stands for part-time, you know?
PT Cruiser, we've decided stands for part-time cruiser. It's not full-time. Yeah. So what we're doing with over here, I came over here to help him real quick. So what we had to do here, what Franny had to do, was replace this shifter. Now that seems like an easy thing, but in a PT Cruiser, as you can see, the entire seat has to come out. You have to unplug all the cigarette lighters. This entire center console had to come out. You have to unplug the little window switches for the back. You have to unplug so many things. And what I had to just do is come over and help him basically manipulate this center console into its proper place. And I know that sounds graceful and amazing, but it was so hard and it took a ton of effort. But now we're gonna put the seat in and then we're gonna get back to Brian's car. All right, guys, we've got that new radiator in. You can see it. You can just barely see it right there, the beautifulness of it. It's all nice and new and clean. And then you can see right here, the old radiator had a nick in it right there where this mount was actually hitting it over and over and over again. I think little bro hit like a bump or something and it knocked this thing up. But this new radiator does not have that little flaw right here. We took this little bracket and we bent it down, so now that won't happen again, and we don't have to worry on the road to Vegas. Oh my gosh, this camera's getting so dirty. All right, so now we are changing the oil and also flushing the transmission. And after this, we are getting really, really close. Longest reverse ever. All right, after we're done flushing the transmission, change the oil. I think that's really, really getting close to done. I swear. And then after this, I'm going to probably go edit this a little bit or get these files onto my computer and then go to the gym, hit some manly squats. All right, boys and girls, we are basically done. All we're doing now is we're buttoning up everything, putting all the last little bolts on. Gonna test drive the car so that we can burp the coolant system, let all the air out of the coolant system, come back here, fill it up with a little bit of coolant. All right, guys, that's it. We're done. All I gotta do now is go test drive this thing for just a little bit, just make sure everything is working properly, because the worst time we could find out that we did something wrong is on the way to Vegas. All right, baby girl, this is gonna be the last clip. Done test driving the car. You guys just saw me test driving. I was singing to Open Mike Eagle, Degrassi Picture Day, and I will put a link in the description to that song because it is absolutely one of my favorite songs in the entire world in the time of man right now. It's about Picture Day, and it's a rap song, and it's amazing. All right, I will see you guys probably in just a minute, and I will probably be sitting at my computer, just about to go to the gym. Peace out, bye.
This is a creepy angle.
Okay, guys.
This is a really weird angle. Here, does it look like when I drink water? Like
we're headed. We're headed to the gym now. We're gonna do. This is gonna be leg day. I'm probably gonna do some heavy squats, and we're doing something called Jefferson squats, which I've always preached to people that I think it's like a retarded movement, and I think it's like a really stupid thing to do. But I'm gonna try them out and then give them a chance. I saw somebody else do them on YouTube just now as he looked up the movement, and I guess they're not that bad. We'll see what happens. My hamstrings are really loose lately, so I feel like it'll be easy for me. And I feel like before I wasn't as flexible when I tried them, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so when I got to the gym, the squat rack that I wanted, that I was talking about that was really awesome, was taken by these guys doing this weird deadlift thing. I don't know what they were doing. Anyhow, so we decided to use this cool, I don't know what this is, I guess you call it like a hammer strength hack squat. For me, this is a very strange machine, and anytime that there's a gym that has it, I really try and use it because I used to really hate it.
and I'm trying to make it so that it's something that I'm used to doing, and it's like a movement that's really easy for me, so that way I can teach other people how to do it, of course. And it's just something that I've stayed away from for a long time, because I feel like my frame, the way the levers work on my body and stuff, it's just weird on this machine, I feel. It's just really strange. Now, my brother was doing it, but I guess it started kind of bugging his knees, so he went over to the leg press. And this leg press is amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen this thing before, but it is juicy. Now, he can ting this thing out. You can see him hit the actual bumper. I haven't even tried this thing yet. I think I'm going to use it on our next leg day. And yes, that is 6 plates, 4 reps on each side. That's right, baby girl. Now, up next, we're going to do the Jefferson squats. This is something that I see people do all the time. I see it at the gym, and I for some reason, I hate this movement. I feel like it almost like forces you to break form. But now that I've actually gotten really loose and I've done a lot of stretches, I've really stretched out my hamstrings a whole bunch, so I'm a lot more flexible. So I feel capable doing this. Now, I did use the bumpers that you see right there, because I tried doing this straight from the ground and I couldn't quite get it up. It was just a really weird bend for me. My body is just not built to do like deadlift type movements, but I feel like I did okay with this. With 135 on the little bumpers, I don't feel like I broke form too bad. And the biggest thing I was paranoid about was my lower back doing a lot of the work, because I feel like people subconsciously bend down for the bar and they use their lower back instead of using their actual legs. Now, I went with kind of like a strange, almost 90-degree sumo deadlift, kind of weird, really strange squat looking thing. Now, I hate to be graphic or whatever, but if you position basically your dink right across the bar, that's a great point to go by. It's a great anchor point to go by. If you have your dink right above the bar, you're good. Your stance is perfect, I feel. That's what I noticed. Now, up next, I'm going to show you my brother doing the exact same movement as me, and you're going to see someone that's just about 2 or 3 inches shorter doing the exact same thing, and you're going to see how it's a little bit different. It's a little bit quicker. It happens, I feel, just a little bit easier, and he can actually pick it up off from the ground, actually. So it's almost like there's a deficit for him, and you're going to see this happen. Look at that. It's a lot different than me. Now, even though I use the bumpers, I still feel like I had a lot of difficulty doing these. I did record my second set, I believe, and even though I was fatigued from the first set, I don't feel like it was that bad. I do feel like my knees come forward a little bit too much when I do this, and you want to keep your knees above your feet always when you're doing any kind of like deadlift, squat, anything like that. And I feel like my knees kind of they kind of go forward just a little bit when I lift. Watch right here. Boop, just a little bit. They're not over my feet. So I feel like I need to work on that. I need to pull back a little bit more. Kind of imagine I'm pulling back as opposed to pulling straight up. So that way I can correct that movement just a little bit. I really don't like that now that I'm watching it on video. I didn't watch this before when I was editing. Anyhow. Now up next it was lunges. I just grabbed some 30s because I wanted to do kind of a high reps, hit my quads, and my brother put a little tiny, just one little step. It was just an inch or two high, but when you have just that little bit extra to go down with your knee, it makes it so much harder, and it's really hard to not do that with your lower back. Get ready for the roller coaster. Whee! So up next, it's isolation exercises. Just leg extensions. There was 3 sets of these. I always do 3 sets of everything usually. 3 to 4 sets of everything. And I just make these videos to show you guys pretty much everything I do in the gym, but I don't want to record every single set because it gets really annoying after a while. Now, this is my brother on this cool little hamstring machine. I like this one, but the problem is the pad grips my calves, and it forces my knees to do really weird things because my legs are so long. Now, up next, I use this really juicy hamstring machine, this leg curl machine. each leg is independent of the other one, and my timing was a little bit off, I noticed. The right one comes up just a little bit quicker than the left one, I believe. So last but not least, we hit calves, of course. Now this machine right here, I love this thing. This thing is so amazing. Anytime there's a gym that has one of these type of calf machines, I always make sure to use it because you can get a really nice contraction with this if you place your feet right. Foot placement on this is super duper crucial. You can see my brother doesn't have his toes on the actual pad. He has them hanging off just a little bit, so he's almost using the center of his foot. And also, of course, you don't want to do the calf dance on this machine either. You don't want to do those super fast reps where you're really just like stretching your calf instead of actually doing a rep.
10 calories.
What are these delicious treats that I can't focus on? Oh my, sour belts. How many of these gonna have?
1 serving, 4 of these, 110 calories.
Ooh. For 4 of them, only 110 calories?
Have one, girl. Ooh. It's like the fair.
I know bad shit right there.
Tiger chain week 1. So this week, I'll work out a little bit. I'll have gummy ribs.
Alright guys, done with leg day. Done working on the brother's car. Getting it ready for Olympia. And by the way guys, yes, me and my brother, Humerus Fitness, will be at the Olympia. So if you guys see us, please come up and say hi. Do not hesitate to say hi, please. Because we'll be more thrilled that you're coming up to say hi than you are to meet us. Trust me. We get ecstatic whenever people want to meet us, and we actually get to meet you guys in real life. It actually happened here at this gym the other day. Nick, what's up? I was stoked that somebody knew me from YouTube and completely did not know me from the real world. To me, that's really cool. Alright guys, I'm rambling. That's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure and try and find us at the Olympia if you're there, because I will be so excited to meet you guys. Okay, peace out.